Man, I already got the wheel taken off and I'm pretty much ready to go. So that's the stock spring, this is the stock shock. None of this stuff has been changed. Like, all of this is still factory. And I think my shocks is bad because when I hit bumps, it like sways a little bit and you can feel every bump. So I think my shocks are bad, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, we're gonna go ahead and get that spring out. That spring is significantly taller than the OEM one. I don't know how in the world I'm supposed to drop it, but I'm gonna try to figure it out. Like I said, you would never know unless you just learn, or you just try to do it. You feel me? You'll never learn unless you just try. But yeah, like I said, I got one side fully completed, one side done. As y'all can see, it took me about 2 hours, but I got it done. And I got this just loosely tightened, just until I let my wheel down and see how I need to adjust it, how high, how low I need to lower it or heighten it or lift it. On the driver's side, on the passenger side, I use my spring collapse tool to get it out. There we go. But over here, didn't need to, man. Just drop that lower arm, man, and you good to go, bro. Simple as that. What's up, guys? It's your boy Deuce back with another video. This video, man, if y'all didn't check out the last video, go check it out, man. A huge shout out and a huge thank you to Flashark for sending me a brand new suspension for my Charger. I installed the fronts in the last video, so if y'all want to see that, go to the last video, check it out, and check how much better my fitment is with these 22-inch wheels and these 265/35 tires, bro. Money. I got it money, man. I got it perfect, man. So the fronts is done. Now it's time to go ahead and move on to the rear. Now I don't know how much harder or how much easier the rear is gonna be, but we finna find out together, you know what I'm saying? Because this is my first time doing suspension on the Charger. And the stock suspension, my uncle wanted it for his Charger because he has lowering springs in his car right now, and he don't like it lowered because he got 22s on his car and he rubs real bad. So he said he want to put some stock suspension back on. I told him I don't need him buying none offline or anything, because I'm taking mine off my car thanks to Flashark. They gave me coilovers, and we're going coilovers on the Charger, bro. And like I said, I can adjust it, I can lift the car up, lower the car down, whatever I need to do whenever I change or do anything with the wheels or anything like that, you know what I'm saying? So if y'all want anything from their site, go to flasharkracing.com and use my code HDC15. Get yourself a discount off whatever you're trying to get and save you some money, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, man, this video we're finna go ahead and install the rear. I don't know how much harder it's gonna be. I know the front, it wasn't technically too hard. It's just the sway bar link bolts I could not get off because they kept spinning. The sway bar link and the bolt kept spinning together, you know what I'm saying? So I had to get some vice grips, hold the sway bar link, and then get the bolt off, and then everything else was smoothly coming off, you know what I'm saying? So, and I had to go buy a bolt, but other than that, everything was good, man. Or a nut, I mean. For the rear, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna find out together. So hope y'all enjoyed this video. Make sure y'all hit the like button for me, subscribe to the channel if you are new, turn the post notification bell all the way, y'all get notified as soon as I drop. Share the channel, share the video, man. We're up to 5,000 subscribers, so I need y'all help to hit that goal. Share the channel, share the video. Oh, yeah, subscribe if you're new, and do whatever you can to help me reach that goal. Once again, a huge shout out and a huge thank you to Flashark for sending me these brand new coilovers for my Charger to help me dial in my suspension. I've been needing a new suspension for this car for a while, and I'm glad that we was able to work this out. And make sure y'all use my code HDC15. Get yourself some money off. And I'll catch y'all as soon as we get outside the car. I'm gonna show y'all the coilovers first, then I'm gonna take the wheels off and then see how much harder or how hard this is finna actually be. So let's get to work, man. All right, y'all, we finna go ahead and get right to work, man. Like I said, I don't know how hard this finna be, and I don't know what I'm doing, but we finna try and see what we can get done. You know what I'm saying? You never know how much you can do until you just try it, and you will never learn unless you try, you know what I'm saying? So finna go ahead and try and knock this out. So the first thing first, man, one thing y'all will notice is how significantly smaller this spring is, but this cup goes under the spring like that, and that's how you can lift and lower it that way, you know what I'm saying? So that's one way. And then here go the little coilover shock. So like I said, I think this portion might be a little bit easier than the front, but let me go ahead and show y'all what we're working with, man. I already got the wheel taken off and I'm pretty much ready to go. So that's the stock spring. This is the stock shock. None of this stuff has been changed. Like, all of this is still factory. And I think my shocks is bad, because when I hit bumps, it like sways a little bit and you can feel every bump. So I think my shocks are bad, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, we're gonna go ahead and get that spring out. That spring is significantly taller than the OEM one. I don't know how in the world I'm supposed to drop it, but I'm gonna try to figure it out. Like I said, you would never know unless you just learn, or you just try to do it. You feel me? You'll never learn unless you just try. And that's what I'm gonna try to do. So for the shock, one bolt here, one bolt here, one big bolt down here. Y'all can't see. Oh, there you go. Right there. One bolt, two up there. So 3 bolts total for that. And I don't know how I'm supposed to get the spring out, but that's, like I said, I'm gonna have to figure it out when I get started, you know. I see it's a bolt down here to maybe drop this lower arm. Like I said, I don't know. I'm probably gonna look up a video real quick and see how to get the stock spring out of the rear of a Dodge Charger. As y'all can see, all my rotors are drilled and slotted. If y'all want to see that video, it's somewhere in my Charger playlist. Click on my channel, click on playlist, and you'll see me change all the rotors to drill and slotted rotors, change my brake pads, and change, I think, my front calipers. I think I got brand new front calipers. The rear calipers there was only one of them seized on the front, but the rears was perfectly fine. But I changed all the brakes, changed the rotors, put drilled and slotted rotors just to do it, you know. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get to work. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get to work, man. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna drop that spring. So let me look up a video real quick, and then I'll come back to y'all. We're gonna drop the shock. Y'all see I got my second jack there to push that up if I need to. But yeah, let me look up a video, see how to get that spring out, man. But like I said, this is the new suspension going up in the rear. Nice little color, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be purple and red, gonna be my car. Actually, it's not that bad, because my dad had a classic car. I forgot what he said it was. I think he said it was a Delta 88, maybe. I think that's what it was. I don't remember, but I got a picture. I can look at the picture and then I know what car it is, but I forgot what car it was. But I think it was a Delta 88. He had it purple and red, or was it purple and pink? I gotta look at the picture. But it was purple and red, and I think it was white interior with a white soft top. It was hard, so clean, diamond window. It was so hard. Like, I mean, I'll tell y'all, my dad used to do some crazy cars, bro. He used to have probably the best built cars in my town. Probably in a pretty big radius too, you know what I'm saying? My dad used to really build cars, and I wish he would have kept all of them, but you know, you can't keep all your cars. So yeah, but let me go ahead and get this stuff installed, man. Once again, a huge shout out to Flashark for sending me brand new suspension for my Charger, man. Brand new coilovers and new springs and the cup to go at the bottom to lift and lower it, man. So y'all stay tuned, man, and let me go ahead and get started, and I'll come back to y'all, show y'all how it's done. All right, y'all, I got one side completed 2 hours later, you know, but I'm finally done. I got one side done. So this is, y'all can see, this is the stock stuff. That's the stock one. This is aftermarket. This is what we putting on. Like I said, once again, huge shout out to Flashark. We're gonna be putting on the new spring and the coilover shock replacement. So this is, like I said, my original one. It ain't no good. Watch. Push it down and show y'all. Look at that. That mug don't want to come back up. Look at that. Don't want to come up. But this is a long shot, bro. But yeah, like I said, I got one side fully completed, one side done. As y'all can see, took me about 2 hours, but I got it done. And I got this just loosely tightened, just until I let my wheel down and see how I need to adjust it, how high, how low I need to lower it or heighten it or lift it. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. But I'm gonna show y'all how I did it on the driver's side, since this passenger side is done now. I'm gonna need this extra jack, and I'm gonna grab a few tools, but I want to go ahead and show y'all how I did it on this side. But first, let me get my wheel off, and then I'll show y'all. So give me 1 second. All right, y'all, I know I'm filthy, but the way to get this off, like I said, the shocks is 2 bolts up here. So you're gonna take both of these off. So yeah, first you want to get the shock out first. So one nut down there, and then the bolt is on this side. And after you get that, you gotta drop this lower control arm, which is bolt right here. So once you drop that, you're just gonna drop just that one bolt. So it's 4 bolts all you getting out. 2 up here, 1 down here for the shock, 1 back there, and then you should be able to pull the spring out once you drop that. But I gotta get my other jack so I can help so the spring don't just shoot it down, you know. But yeah, I want to get the shock out first, and then we're gonna move on from there. So let's go ahead, get the shock out. I'm gonna try to record as much as I can, but honestly, don't know how much I'm finna record. And one side is a 15, the other side is, I think, 18. I think it was the 18. Yep. And then what I used was my impact. Now, and this is the only electric tool that I've got that I can use over here. So, and I lubed everything up too, so that's another thing. Alright. So, and then I put everything to the side. So I remember 3 bolts, it goes to the shock. And then these 2 bolts that's up top for the shock is a 16. They 16s. Alright. And the rear, pretty much, it is easier to do. It's just getting out that back bolt to drop this lower control arm was the only hard part, bro. That was the only hard part. Everything else was smooth. Like getting this shock out was smooth, getting a new one in was smooth, putting a new spring in was smooth, you know? Everything else is smooth, man. It's just getting out. See what I'm saying? All these bolts break loose easy. Now this one, you might be able to, well, yeah, it's gonna be when you put the new shit in. Ouch. Finger stuck. So now the shock is out. What you do, just push it down. I know this is dangerous, do not do that. I know that's dangerous, but that's the only way I can get that shock out. It's old, and look, it don't even want to open back up. See what I'm saying? Now I gotta grab my other jack, come back over here, and then get that bolt out. So let me get my other jack with my plank of wood, try and push that up to help so it don't just jump out, and then I'll come right back to y'all, and I gotta change out my battery. All right, y'all, so like I said, we got the shocks out now. Y'all just seen that, so now it's time to go ahead and get this second, or this last bolt out, which is a nut in the bolt. I'm gonna use the impact to get it out, and then use this ratchet to hold the other end, solely because I don't feel like grabbing a wrench. Got my board with my jack right here to help hold the load, so it don't just jump all over the place. And then we're gonna get the work. So let's go ahead, use the impact, get this off. I ain't gonna lie, I already broke it loose off camera. So just zip it off. There we go. And then make sure you don't lose none of that hardware, bro. And this is gonna be very tight to get out. So the last time I just used my ratchet, and I don't have no exhaust on this side, so there's a lot more room over here than it was on the passenger side, because my exhaust tip, as y'all know, my exhaust tip is on the passenger side because they go from a dual to a single. Hate that they did that, but it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? I can't do nothing about it until I motor swap it. When I motor swap it, I'm gonna do long tube headers, and then I'm gonna leave the duals. I'm not gonna do no X pipe or nothing. I know a lot of chargers, people with chargers be doing X pipes and H pipes. Not me. I'm gonna do straight to them, from headers straight to the mufflers. No X pipe, no pipe in the middle, nothing like that. I just think it'll give it a better tone, or louder anyways, in my opinion. So just back it out. It should back straight out. With the ratchet, it's just gonna take a while unless you use your impact. Oh dang it, I don't think I have a 15. I think that's why I had to use the ratchet. Hold on. 15. Oh, I don't think I got one. Nope. I got no 15. I got a 14. That's why I had to use the ratchet. That's right, I forgot about that. It is what it is. This is the only long part, man. It's the only really hard part. Like I said, getting this last bolt out. Now I can lay up under the car and I'll probably get it faster, but I'm gonna just do it like this, man. I got my jack stands under the car, so I'm safe. And I got the huge jack supporting the weight of the car. Hurt. That's why I had to use the ratchet, because I don't have a 15 socket. That's for my impact. All right, let me get this bolt out, man. This is taking a little bit longer. I'm gonna get up under the car and get it. So let me get the bolt out, then I'll show y'all me dropping this and then getting the spring out. All right, y'all, 5 minutes later, man, got the spring up out of there. Got the bolt out. Now it's time to drop the spring. Now, like I said, this is where you gotta go real slow. Be careful. You don't want it to just shoot everywhere. So take your time, man. Don't be in a rush getting this out. Take your time. So what I'm gonna do, I'm sit right here and go real slow and watch it. Real slow. Real nice and easy. Real nice and easy. There we go. There we go. And now we off. Now I gotta get the spring out. Gotta do some maneuvering. On the driver's side, on the passenger side, I use my spring collapse tool to get it out. There we go. But over here, didn't need to, man. Just drop that this lower arm, man, and you good to go, bro. Simple as that. Now, when you putting everything in, just go in reverse. Don't put the shock and bolt that up first, because then it's gonna be hard to put this back up here, because it moves, you know what I'm saying? So put the spring in first and then grab the shock. Start the bolts on the shock, but don't tighten them, you know what I'm saying? And then put this up, tighten that, then tighten all your shock bolts, and then you should be good to go. Here we go, the stock OEM spring. My uncle wanted, so I'm gonna give it to him. And if you put just this straight spring up in there, look at that difference. That's gonna be way too low for me, because I'm already close. I'm already pushing it with the stock, with the 22s, you know? So with this, I'm gonna raise it a little bit. I'm gonna have to raise it on the other one too, because this is a little too low still. So I'm gonna have to raise it some and then adjust it from there. I'm gonna have to raise the other side too. I didn't realize it was that low. But yeah, definitely got to do that, man. So put the spring in like that with the cup, and then put your shock in. So let me go ahead and get everything reinstalled, man. I'll show y'all what it's like once I get it on the ground. I gotta do some adjusting, and I'm running low on time. I was supposed to do my fuel pump today, but I ain't have time. I've been dealing with this all weekend, which, you feel me, I ain't complaining. Nice little upgraded suspension. Got the front dialed in money. If y'all want to see that, go check out that last video. And now I'm finna get the rear the same way, and we're gonna be even. Ain't no squatting, ain't none of that. We're gonna be even. Try to anyway. So let me do some messing around, playing around with this, and I'll show y'all what it looks like when I'm done. So as y'all can see, it's nighttime, and I gotta do a lot of adjusting on the rear. But like I said, it's nighttime, so I gotta wait till next weekend. So I'm just gonna conclude this video. Everything is now installed and it's done. So let me go ahead and show y'all. Like I said, I gotta do a lot of adjusting, but y'all can see that they are installed. In fact, barely, you can barely see it in there. Everything is installed. Like I said, I gotta do a lot of adjusting because this rear is really high, but it's mainly on this side. This side is not too high, but it's still too high, you know? So y'all can see everything is installed. Got everything put in, and like I said, I just gotta do some adjusting now. And I'm thinking it's the spring, because I adjusted the shocks twice now, and it looks like it didn't really move. So I think it's the spring. I'm gonna have to adjust the spring portion. But other than that, man, like I said, everything is done. I done got everything installed now. Y'all let me know what y'all think. But the front is the money. It's the money line, you know. That's why I got that mug on the money. The front is literally perfect, and I'm so excited to go driving now. I'm gonna drive back home, so I'm gonna be able to see how the suspension feels, how stiff it is, how loose it is, how, you know, I'm gonna be able to see all of that. So yeah, man, I'm very happy, man. Once again, a huge shout out and a huge thank you to the Flashark for sending me these coilovers. My first time using coilovers, and like I said, I'm still learning. You know, I'm still learning. But the front fitment, like I said, it's money. One finger, that's how I wanted it. Both sides on the front is good. It's only the rear I gotta do some more playing with, you know what I'm saying? I gotta do some more fine tuning, some more adjusting. So I gotta do a little bit more on the rear, but the fronts, like I said, the fronts is done. I ain't gotta touch the fronts no more. The front's gonna stay like this until I'm ready to upgrade my wheels. But the rear, like I said, the rear needs a lot of attention. A lot. It's about 2 fingers. So it ain't, this side ain't, like I said, this side ain't that bad. It's the passenger side that's so high. And like I'm thinking it's the spring. It's because of the spring. Because I adjusted the shocks. Next weekend, I'm gonna come back out here. I'm gonna try messing with the shocks again. And if nothing happens with the shocks, then it's the spring. I'm gonna have to drop that lower control on again, and then pull the spring out, adjust the cup, throw it all back together, and then test it again. That's the only bad thing, and that's the only thing I really don't like about coilovers is you gotta keep testing, keep testing, keep testing. And I don't know, it's just a lot of work, you know? And like I said, but I'm happy, man. I'm happy with the products that I got, and I'm loving the way the car is looking right now. Like I said, the front is perfect, bro. I love the way the front looks. Now I just gotta get the rear right. Once I get the rear and the car is leveled and lowered, bro, it's gonna look, I'm telling y'all, it's gonna look so good. So I'll give y'all an update next weekend once I finish everything. But for now, this is gonna conclude it, bro. Y'all let me know what y'all think, how y'all feel about the coilovers. How do y'all feel about coilovers just in general? Do y'all like coilovers? Do y'all not like coilovers? How do y'all feel about them? Like I said, let me know y'all opinion. Let me know how y'all feel and how y'all think about them. And nonetheless, man, I'll catch y'all in a second for the outro as soon as I finish cleaning up. All right, y'all, so that's gonna be the end of this, man. Like I said, y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all leave y'all opinions in the comments. Let me know how y'all feel about coilovers, just coilovers in general, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm still learning, so I need to look up a video of how to adjust rear coilovers with springs. I need to see what I need to do there, you know what I'm saying? Because I was adjusting the coilover portion, but not the spring portion. I ain't touched the spring portion. I left the spring portion pretty much how it was close to OEM, just a little bit shorter, which is why I don't understand why it's not lowering a little bit more. But I'm thinking it's with that spring, but by the time y'all get this video, I might have already done figured it out. I might have already done changed it or fixed it or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, I needed to get this video out. And yeah, like I said, once again, a huge shout out and a huge thank you to Flashark for sponsoring my charger and sending my charger some brand new suspension components, because Lord knows I needed it for this car. Ever since I had this car, my suspension has been really bad, and you can feel it I can feel it every time I drive it, you know what I'm saying? And I've been needing some new suspension on this car, some new shocks, some new struts. As y'all seen, them shocks was blown, they was done. So I've been needing it, and all of that stuff is factory. It's from the factory. So from 2006 or 2005, really, when they manufactured the car and released it in 05. Y'all know how they be doing it, like 2025 cars get released in 2024. So really, it's like 2005 since this stuff been done on this car, you know? So that's 20 years, all them old suspension components. And like I said, Flashark was nice enough to bless me with some coilovers for this car. Able to put the coilovers on. It took me a whole weekend, but like I said, I was learning. You will never know how to do something unless you try it, you feel me? If you never try to do something that you don't know how to do, you never learn, you know what I'm saying? This is my first time ever doing coilovers, y'all know this. And it took me a while, you know what I'm saying? Once I got one side down, though, the other side went good. And with the back, once I got the passenger side down, the driver's side went faster, you feel me? I did it on camera and y'all seen it. It took me like 10 minutes to do the driver's side, but on the passenger side it took me like 2 hours. But like I said, it's because I didn't know what I was doing. I had to look up what components or what bolts to take off to drop what to get the springs out. I was just learning, and I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what was doing, and it ended up working out, bro. And like I said, it came out perfectly. But as always, y'all let me know what y'all think. I done cut up my hand every time, bro, every time I work on cars. But I didn't get to do nothing with the box Chevy this weekend, but that'll be all right. I'll come back next weekend. We're gonna do some stuff to the box Chevy. We're gonna mess with the coilovers a little bit more for the rear. Like I said, the front I'm not touching anymore because the front is literally perfect, but the rear I'm gonna do a little bit more to mess with and see how it turns out. But nonetheless, I hope y'all enjoyed, man. Make sure y'all like the video, hit the like button for me, subscribe to the channel if you're new, turn the post notification after y'all subscribed, and comment down below y'all opinions. And if y'all need anything from Flashark, go to flasharkracing.com, enter my code for y'all to get a discount, HDC15. Get yourself a discount, man. nonetheless, I hope y'all enjoyed. I hope y'all liked the product. Thank you to Flashark again for sponsoring this video. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Keep God first and God bless, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.